Hello, welcome back to Truthseekerstea. My name is Kate, and I just want to say I'm so thankful to have you here and have you present for today's pick a card reading, where we're going to be looking at what makes other people sorry, there's just a really loud sneeze outside, but what makes people envious of you. And then we'll be looking at guidance for you on what to remember about this energy and how to kind of protect yourself from letting it get in your way or become an obstacle to you. So we also will be doing an extended reading where we're going to be looking at what makes people crush on you or what romantically attracts people to you. So it's just a fun reading if you guys are wanting some more after this and you feel like your pile really resonates for you. I really enjoyed filming those, so check it out if you feel like it. So for today's reading, we have 3 piles to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the Gold Foil Tarot with this orange calcite raw crystal. For pile number 2, we have the Wild Unknown Tarot with this clear quartz crystal heart. And for pile number 3, we have the Astromatrix Tarot with this black tourmaline palm stone. So go ahead and take whatever time you need to figure out which pile you are feeling drawn to. You may also feel that one of the piles resonates for you during a certain time, and then you may want to just write down what pile you picked so then you can come back and see if a different pile resonates at a later date. But go ahead and pick your pile. I'll have the timestamps linked down below. I will have the extended readings linked down below. I will have the names of these decks that I use linked, and also any information about me that you guys may be curious about. So without further ado, I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Gold Foil Tarot and the orange calcite raw crystal, this is going to be your reading where we're looking at why other people are envious or jealous of you. We will be finishing off the reading with some advice for you on how to respond to this energy or what you need to know in regards to protecting yourself. I've already pulled some oracle cards, so I'm going to lay those out and then we'll clarify with tarot. So I'm going to put this deck to the side. By the way, good choice of deck. I'm very excited to use this. It's a newer deck for me. All right, so for this pile, we got Hawk, Swan, and Stingray. So some common themes coming through for this pile, and a little bit of an energy check-in. I feel like this is a group that is definitely in touch with their inner child, and this group may be kind of like a dreamer kind of person or someone who is very creative and kind of mystical. That's a part of it. So let's keep going though. So we also have predictions of growth. We have afraid of the attic and good things. We have here and now. It's over here. And we have higher power. We have woman holding a coin and cornucopia. Matches the gold deck as well. We literally had envy come out, so it's pretty on point. We have broken heart as well. We have the order, communication, and confidence. We have the hound, loyalty, chains, promises. We have the fate, accepting help and guidance. We have the 6 of Swords with Pluto. We have the 3 of Cups, 11th house, friends. And we also have the Hangman with Chiron and healing. So before we keep going, I want to just speak up a little bit about what's coming through, because you guys have an interesting duality to you that I feel people are jealous of the fact or envious of how you seem to be in a time period in your life where you're balancing out your energy, where you guys may have been the kind of person who didn't really like to take life so seriously, or you may have kind of always been in your head in a way, or like people maybe view you as very dreamer type or someone that's kind of living in their own world. And I feel like there's this really likable quality about you where I feel like you're the kind of person who can make a friend anywhere you go. And there's such a likable, open-hearted energy about you. But at the same time, you also seem to be really developing an ability to not allow your sensitive nature to pull you into illusion or to cause you to overgive. Like maybe in the past you've overgiven a lot. And it feels like people are envious of how you are stepping into an era where you have more confidence and control in regards to what you put your energy towards. And it's like you aren't being as swayed around as much. And so I could see some of these people being people that have known you for some time, maybe people that have been friends with you in a time period where you maybe had more self-doubt and you may have been stuck in more unhealthy relationships, unhealthy career choices. And there could have been an energy of being a little bit ungrounded that almost made people feel more secure about you. So it's like it maybe was that they in the past could have just been jealous of how likable you are and how sensitive and naturally you connect with people, but they may have kind of said, well, they're not as ambitious or they're not as practical, so that's what makes me feel like I don't have to be too mad about it. But I feel like you're now stepping into a time period where with Chiron here, I feel like you're healing a lot of what maybe kept you in limiting cycles, limiting attachments. And in the past, you may have been more likely to self-sabotage or not take advantage of your potential. And I feel like you're actually moving out of that energy. And I think that's something that is triggering people. And it feels like you're moving away from thought processes that maybe held you back or kept you small. Like maybe in the past you felt like you had to stay small, or you felt like you had to kind of listen to other people's advice or like kind of allow other people to have a power over you. But I feel like you're really stepping into this era of knowing your worth, knowing your potential. And this is causing you to be more able to make choices that serve you. And it feels like this is a time of change for you where you may be gaining the strength through doing your own reflection with yourself, through being more willing to look at your own triggers and get a hold of those. It's almost like they're controlling you less. So we also have Fairy of the Divine Hand, Intoxication, Distorted View, Overindulgence. We have Magical Space Clearing Time. And we also, Here, let me just fix the camera so it's a little bit more. All right, that's better. And then we also have Time for Change, to learn something new, to use technology and gadgets with wisdom. And then we also have Look Closely, Ask a Question, Think Before Acting. So I feel like people are feeling triggered by a new sense of self that you're stepping into, and this energy of being much more reassured. And also there's a feeling here that maybe people that were able to deceive you or kind of pull one over on you or kind of get you to believe in a fantasy about them, you're becoming more practical now, where that isn't working anymore on you. And it's like, despite who you've been in your past, you're in this energy of rewriting your story and rewriting patterns in your life. And it's giving you this energy of freedom, and it's allowing you to grow a lot faster than maybe you were able to before. And I feel like now more than ever, you're actually facing a lot of your biggest shadows or your strongest wounds. And it's like we get controlled by those when we are afraid of the attic, when we're afraid of looking at what we're afraid of, then we end up saying yes to things that are maybe not best for us in the long run, or we aren't as discerning with the decisions we make because we're kind of pushed and pulled by our vulnerabilities. And so I'm going to just lay out the last cards. I pulled quite a few. So we have Affair here. This is Venus in Leo. We have Riches. And this is Capricorn energy, but I can't remember. What is this in? I don't remember, but this is Capricorn energy with riches. We have assertion. And then we also have organization with more Capricorn energy. I believe that's Mercury and Capricorn, or Venus. But for this group, people are feeling envious of the fact that they can't convince you anymore that you should question yourself, or that you shouldn't question other people's responses to you. Maybe in the past people projected on you a lot and you would kind of just take it and internalize it. But I feel like now you're moving in this energy that's more open to seeing the truth and open to different possibilities, and also open to making sure that you're reading the fine print here, especially with this investigate card. Look closely, ask questions, think before acting. And I feel like you may have been more ruled by impulse in the past, and that maybe caused you to sabotage or cause you to make decisions that would get in the way of your long-term progress, but it maybe made other people feel more uncomfortable because they felt like you wouldn't shine or you wouldn't ever really grow into your highest potential. But I'm seeing now that as you are growing within your connection to yourself, and you're less afraid of facing what it is that pulls you into these sabotaging behaviors, it's like you now are most trusting of spirit. It's like you've taken your allegiance away from this feeling of not being enough and hyper-fixating on relationships or hyper-fixating on past pain, things like that keep us back. It's like you are now connected more with the divine. And it's almost like you're getting more guidance. And this could be through like reading tarot or listening to tarot readings or whatever else. It just feels like you're actually learning to get help and guidance that is actually useful for you. And it's almost like you're learning what is a trustworthy source of advice for you. Because I feel like there could have been people around you that would potentially manipulate your ability to, or manipulate the fact that you wouldn't maybe question if someone projected on you, or you wouldn't question if someone was saying, oh, I don't know if like that's a good idea for you to pursue that career. It's almost like you would take that at face value and go, okay, like, yeah, that must mean I don't have what it takes to do that. And you kind of just trusted it. But with the Hound in reverse, this card talks about you reassessing your relationships. And it's almost like you're getting this more detached energy that is very tuned in with your own truth and your own truth of your own feelings, where you're now more able to break away from things that held you back, things that kept you in a story of not being worthy, of not having enough potential. And it's like you're thinking new and you're being new. And you're making the right decisions for yourself, and you're clearing out emotional gunk that maybe stopped you from being confident in the past or allowed other people to have more control over you. And I feel like with this broken heart here, it could have been that like until you healed certain wounds within yourself, certain core wounds, you may have always not believed in yourself, or you maybe have always felt like other people are more capable than you. But I can tell you're really healing those aspects in yourself that held you back so you can step into your purpose. And so instead of being more insecure, it's like you're really open to the guidance from the divine. You're really open to seeing your potential and becoming more grounded. And we also have, where is it? I can't find it, but there's this card that's talking about like grounding and returning to reality. And like maybe in the past when there was triggers, you maybe would escape from it and never get to the root of it. So then you never make the decision you need to make to clear up situations that weren't happy for you, that weren't giving you what you needed, that weren't meeting you at your worth. And it's like now you're slowing down and you're having enough presence with yourself, enough reflection with your own inner truth, your own inner voice. And you're allowing yourself to be guided by that. And it's like who you are in the outside world, your impression is shifting into this more confident and self-assured, more difficult to influence energy. And I feel like that's triggering for people. And it's also triggering that that's actually enabling you to finally see your potential and finally feel confident in your potential to a point where you aren't saying yes to things that really are not for you, or something that is, you're willing to make the changes. You're willing to change your approach to relationships as you heal yourself. And this is something that I think is already bringing you a level of abundance that people are feeling envious of, with riches and cornucopia and this just gold deck. Like, I feel like you've come out of this energy of lack that maybe was a part of you due to childhood wounds, of feeling not worthy, and that making you more easy to deceive, more easy to control. And it's like, there's also this energy of you finding your purpose and realizing what was unfair from the past. It's like you're like, wait a minute, I maybe overlooked that in the past because of this wound, but I'm not going to make that mistake again. I'm going to go into the present moment, which we have here and now. You're like, it doesn't matter what the dynamic was in the past. I'm in the here and now, and I'm tuned into creating myself anew. And so I'm no longer repeating the same patterns that maybe other people around you are still doing. And because you are changing and maybe rewriting your interactions with other people, it's like you're forcing them to take more accountability. You're forcing them to no longer be able to pass the buck to you and to kind of project onto you that you're the problem. And in the past, maybe you would accept that, but now you're not allowing that. And so you're no longer, you know your worth with this Queen of Pentacles. You know the value you can bring in this world, and you know the value you bring to relationships. And so I feel like there's this Three of Cups energy where you're really starting to figure out like who your soul tribe is, who are the people that are really for you. And I feel like you're really starting to discern who isn't. And so that could be causing you to put certain boundaries in. Maybe you're starting to speak truths to people that you've held in for a long time. And this is something that either other people wish they could do. They may feel intimidated. It's almost like when someone that you used to maybe go out drinking with or something, like you guys maybe shared a similar wound. And so you were kind of bonded through the sharing of that. But it's like once you're open to healing those, you're no longer in alignment with that. And that can feel crappy when someone that you bonded over with due to some sort of insecurity no longer has that insecurity. And if someone's stepping into their power and the people around you still haven't done that, they could feel triggered by that. They could feel left in the dust. There's an energy here of people being afraid of you realizing you're too good for them. So there's certain people who shared wounds to you, but then there's also people who maybe tried to take advantage of your kind nature that are no longer able to do that. And then I feel like they're feeling jaded by that, or they're feeling like it's unfair. And then I feel like there's an energy of envy or evil eye towards you because the people that were maybe more controlling, that maybe didn't have the same wounds as you, but people that kind of got away with certain things, that you didn't question them. You didn't question that maybe it's their issue, not yours. Now that you're doing that, it feels like these people are too proud to do the shadow work and admit what they maybe need to in order to honor you. Certain people don't want to do that. And so instead they're kind of hoping for your failure. They're hoping that without them, you're not able to be successful. But then it's like you are still on your 2 feet and you're still doing fine without them. And so there's certain people who want you to fall off your track, that want to see you not be able to be so independent, that people that want to see you, and certain people that also share the same wounds selfishly want you to still be in a stuck energy because they're still in that stuck energy. And they may not feel ready to grow in the way that you're growing. There's also an energy of envy here because of how people admire you. And there's a sense that this relatability that you have, and I feel like you just understand people so well that like people are just naturally drawn to you. And I feel like certain people can feel like, why is everyone so why does everyone just think pile number one is such an angel? Like, you know what I mean? There's kind of like a feeling where certain people who aren't as tuned in with their emotions or aren't as empathetic feel like it's unfair that they don't get the same response from certain people. So there also could be people that feel like, why does everyone like pile number one more than me? And they also, there's a strong feeling here of people feeling envious that you're no longer feeling controlled or feeling a need to fixate on external things for your worthiness. There's a real sense of you trusting in your worthiness and that opening up a field of new choices for you. And you're following a different guiding light. You're no longer, like, for example, you could have certain friends that like you both like worked out a bunch and like it was kind of a reflection of maybe being insecure about that. And it's like, there's someone here who's just been like sacrificing so much to like maintain a certain body. And then you're here saying like, oh yeah, I kind of like, you know, I work out 3 times a week, but I'm not as like attached to this goal. And then certain people might feel like invalidated by that, or might feel like because they're sacrificing so much to gain something other than that isn't internally motivated, they feel triggered by you not anymore like needing that external validation or needing to chase some sort of goal that is external, you know? And it's like you've taken your power back for yourself. Also, I wanted to let you guys know, for the extended reading, we're going to be looking at why do people have a crush on you, or like what causes people to feel really attracted to you, or why do people crush on you, essentially. So we're going to be looking more into like the romantic aspect of why people are drawn to you. So if you're curious about that topic, it's completely different than this, but I'll have that link down below if you definitely resonate with this energy and you want to see that. And I feel like for this pile, there are a lot of people who feel romantically drawn to you. And yeah, that's really what I'm seeing. And so people are also very jealous of your adaptability right now. The fact that you're not stuck in your ways. It's like you're making positive changes for your life and you're questioning your motivation behind your behaviors instead of sort of just following them and then regretting it later. It's like you have this more controlled energy that I'm feeling. You're facing the things that once controlled you, that once caused you to make decisions that you later regret, caused you to prioritize things and sacrifice other things that were actually important to you, you know? So, yeah, and you're gaining confidence in speaking your truth. You're gaining confidence in facing whatever you have to face in order to grow. And so there's this huge growth energy about you that is causing envy from people. So, let's go into tarot now and see what else comes through. I feel like your self-awareness is something too that people may feel they don't have, or they may not understand how you alchemize things. There's kind of an energy of alchemy that you're stepping into. It's like you're no longer letting certain stale energy or wounds of your past block you. Instead, you're taking those and you're transmuting them into helpful energy for yourself. And not everyone is able to do that. All right, let's get some tarot now. So what makes people envious of pile number 1, Spirit? You have 2 of Cups. Again, it's really how well you're able to connect with other people. I feel like a lot of people see you as a very great friend, a very great lover, a great family member. Like, people are jealous of the fact that you connect so well with other people, that you read other people really well as well. We have 7 of Pentacles. We have the 9 of Swords. Why are people envious of pile number 1? We have 9 of Pentacles. Love that. Yeah, it's coming through really clearly that there are people in your life that are envious of your newfound independence and this empowerment energy you're going through. They're also feeling envious that relationships are no longer controlling your ambitions. It's like you're stepping into this practical energy of really looking and assessing relationships in your life, and instead of just being a ride or die, like an energy where you kind of accept anything, because of you stepping into what you know you deserve and kind of letting go of this fear of solitude meaning that you aren't worthy for connection. It's like you're aware of your likability. You're aware that you have so much potential for whatever kind of relationship you want. It's like everyone would want to be friends with you. So as you realize your inherent value you bring, the more able you are to really look and assess if the things around you are serving you, and you're able to pivot now. We have death. Yeah. And you're letting go. You're transforming. You're letting go of the things that hold you back, that no longer serve you, because you're feeling confident in yourself, because you know you'll be okay if you let go of certain things, because you know that you're abundant, that you're okay on your own. And so maybe in the past, like, you felt more dependent on other people to make you feel secure. But because of this newfound confidence, you're willing to let go of things, and you're not so anxious. Like, maybe in the past you were more afraid that things weren't going to go right for you, or that maybe certain self-limiting like anxiety or like deep fears around certain things would stop you from making the moves that would serve you, from making changes in your life. What's intimidating people is your change energy. We also have the Phoenix at the bottom of the deck, peacock underneath. It's like you're realizing how unique and beautiful you are. And it's like with the Phoenix, you're letting whatever's happened in the past, what that hasn't served you, no longer be your story or define you. It's like that there's this really regenerative, beautiful energy here that's reflecting in your outer world in the way that you are learning to be okay with letting things transform. You're okay with letting things go in a way certain other people aren't. And you're letting go of this fear mentality. You're stepping into a more patient energy where you're more willing to see where things go, and you aren't going to sabotage things, or you aren't just going to assume the worst is going to happen. Yeah, we have the Eight of Pentacles here. And then the King of Swords. Yeah, so what I feel like people are becoming envious of is how much you're realizing your own potential, how much you're realizing that you have it within you, and you spending more time cultivating your gifts and your ambitions is something that's been in your power this whole time. And so it's almost like anything that's getting in the way of that with this King of Swords energy, yeah, Three of Cups underneath, you're becoming very discerning, and also you're becoming harder to influence. It's like you know what your truth is. You see things so clearly that there's no room to let anyone kind of sow seeds of doubt about yourself. It's like you see things clearly. I feel like you're calling things out more clearly. I feel like you're saying things in a more matter-of-fact way. And it's like you're not asking for permission anymore. It's like you don't need permission. You realize that. And if anybody doesn't like that, then they're not for you, and you're okay with that. And there's this discernment about the Three of Cups. Who do you let around you, you know? And so I feel like the people who are not making the cut, or the people who didn't want you to step into this power, are feeling envious that you're doing it. And they're envious of your potential and your work ethic and how you're so driven. And once you get, there may have been an energy in the past where you maybe doubted your skills, doubted your potential to grow. And now you're not letting your fear of failure or your fear of something going wrong stop you from taking those steps to cultivate yourself. So that's a very beautiful energy. I just want to get a couple oracle cards, and then we'll get some advice for you about how you can respond to this, or what you can do to protect yourself, what Spirit wants you to know about this energy. What's the root of the envy towards pile number 1? We have, I forgive myself for pressuring myself to have all the answers, even when the answers are not yet meant to be mine. I choose to believe that knowledge simply enhances my intuition. It's safe to follow my instinct until more is revealed. Yeah, and so I feel like instead of being in this energy where maybe you needed to feel really reassured or very sure that you know everything before you move forward, you're stepping into your intuition. You're letting your analytical mind work with your intuition. And maybe you have a really strong sense of intuition that can guide you to opportunities that are great for you. Maybe in the past you overthought it, or you felt like you weren't capable, or you must be mistaken. You know, I feel like there's an energy of self-doubt. Yeah, it says, I forgive myself for fearing and avoiding what should happen if I allow myself to be vulnerable. I choose to believe that when I acknowledge my fears, I adjust my trajectory my life is moving in, so that I may be more intentional with what I'm building. And so in the past, maybe fear held you back a lot. Like maybe you felt like a need to kind of hold in your inner truth, or you may have been afraid what will happen if you speak your truth. If you acknowledge what you're so afraid of, there's an energy here of being afraid yet doing it anyways, knowing that there's uncertainty but not letting that hold you back. So there's this sense of self-certainty that's coming through. It says, I forgive myself for forgetting I do not need to be dependent on others for the nurturance I crave. You're no longer dependent on others to feel fulfilled, to feel like you can create everything you need. It says, I choose to believe that when I access my expansive wholeness, and there is this expansive wholeness about you, I'm capable of nurturing myself in the ways I search for in others. No longer looking for what you feel you lack in other people, meaning you're not as dependent, meaning you're not as controllable. And the last thing is, I forgive myself for shaming myself for the intensity in which I experience my life. I choose to believe that when I open myself up to the full spectrum of my experience, I give myself permission to explore the depths of my being so that I may gain clear understanding of who I am to be in the world. Yeah, and in the past, you may have been avoidant of your own inner truth, or maybe it would take a while for you to like sit down and really reflect on what you're feeling. And it's like, what are these emotions telling me? And in the past, you may have been afraid of exploring that and what it was telling you, but with the Swan card, you've been spending more time reflecting on yourself and not running away from intense emotions or escaping or trying to find something to distract you. It's like you're just getting to the bottom of it now. You know, you're not letting your fears mean that you won't even focus on the topic anymore. You know, it's like sometimes when, let's say we really want a career path in some arena and that's our heart's wish, but then our fears start coming up, like what if I fail, or like I don't know if I'm good enough to do that. It's like realizing that that's okay that you feel that way, and that the fact that you feel that way in itself is not an indicator that it's not a good path for you or that you shouldn't try. It's like you're willing to cut through the clouds of illusion right now, and you're just seeing things so clearly. And I think that is something that either people around you aren't able to do for themselves, or there's people who feel like they are sending you evil eye because they're no longer able to manipulate. They're no longer able to pull a wool over your eyes and cause you to not act in your best interest. You're not allowing people to have any power over you, you know? It's like you're taking your power back from other people. And so that's what I'm seeing here. I'm coming back in because I just originally filmed this and forgot to do the guidance portion. So I do want to give you guys some guidance on what Spirit wants you to know about this energy, what advice they have for you in navigating this sort of envious energy that could be around you. What do you want pile number 1 to know about this? What guidance do you have for them in navigating? We have act as if. We have there's always enough. We have time for beginner mind, and you see clearly now. So I feel like what Spirit is saying is to not allow anyone to cause you to doubt the clear perception you're having. Like, you are in an era where you are truly really seeing things for what they are, and there could be people around you who want you to doubt yourself or want to be a blockage in your progress. And so I feel like with there's always enough, Spirit's reminding you that if you feel like you have to put boundaries in, and you feel like there may be people around that maybe want you to doubt yourself or are wanting you to not believe that this transition's possible, I feel like Spirit's reminding you that there's always enough. There's always more loving people that you can attract. So don't be afraid of putting in boundaries. Don't be afraid of letting go of any energy like this, because there is more for you. And with the time for a beginner mind, I feel like Spirit's saying to not let anyone make you feel like you can't start over, or starting over right now isn't going to work for you. Remind yourself that you 100% deserve to believe in yourself, to believe in this new change that you're going through, to believe in the endeavors that you're starting, and to not make anyone make you feel like you shouldn't pursue this newness, this new skills, like new opportunities, new relationships. It's never too late to go through this transformation. And so there could be certain people around you that want you to doubt your perception on this, that maybe want you to feel like you're not ready for this, or you're not capable of it. So just be aware of that is what I'm seeing. So yeah. So now we're going to look at why people have a crush on you, or what really attracts other people to you romantically for the extended. So if you're just curious about that, I will have it linked down below. But other than that, this is what I have for the YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. If you found this interesting or any value, I'd appreciate if you have a second to hit the like button, to leave a comment. I really appreciate your guys' feedback. And if you want to see more pick a card readings, I would love for you to join the community. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you're able to see future readings from this channel. And I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope to connect with you again. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose the Wild Unknown Tarot and this clear quartz heart, this is going to be your reading, where we're looking at what makes others envious of you, just to make you more aware. I just think this is an interesting reading to do, and we'll also be getting you some guidance at the end for what Spirit wants you to know about this energy, guidance on moving forward and not letting it get in your way, essentially. So we'll end off with some guidance for you, but we are going to start off with some oracle cards that I pulled, and then we'll clarify with tarot. So for your group, we have Peacock, we have Panther, the Butterfly. So we have 2 air signs here. So you may have Aquarius. I always want to say Virgo for an air sign. I don't know why, but maybe you do have Virgo in your chart, but I'm getting Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. We also have fire here. So we have Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Doesn't have to be your placement, but it could be a confirmation. We have Death of the Deceitful. We have Rainbow Transference, and we also have the One Who Needs to Control. We have the Sun. We have the Thinking Woman, a woman holding a coin. We have Exchanging Gifts. I'm hearing that you know your value. You're very aware of what you're worth. We have To Be Fair. We have Here and Now. We have Jupiter with Abundance. So this is more Sagittarius energy with the Wheel of Fortune. We have the 3 of Cups, 11th house with Friends. And then we have Moon, what is this in? I don't know, you guys, but we have Exaltation. We have Organization, which is Capricorn and Mercury. And then we have the Sun in Aries. So Aries could definitely be in your chart. I'm hearing self-starter as well. So for this energy, so people are envious of you, number one, because you're literally a powerhouse. This group has a very inspirational, powerful energy of transformation. I'm also getting Scorpio because of that, with the butterfly here. I feel like this, so the song Unstoppable by Sia is coming through. I'm unstoppable, I'm a force of nature, something like that. And then I'm also hearing the sun will come out tomorrow. So people are very envious of how you've blossomed. I feel like this is a group that has achieved a really high level of mastery over your emotions and mastery over your past. I feel like this is an energy that's completely transformed. So this group could have been on like a self-development or a spiritual journey for a while, but I feel like you're reaping the rewards of that now. And I feel like people are envious of how discerning you are, because we have the Thinking Woman here in Death of the Deceitful with the Panther. So people are envious of how easily it seems, maybe it hasn't been easy, but it comes off like that, how fearless you are in facing whatever needs to be faced. Like there's just this very head-on energy about you where you're not afraid of anything. And it's almost like you're not afraid to see the truth of things, and you're also not afraid to acknowledge the truth and to acknowledge what needs to go. So with Death of Deceitful, I feel like this group would have let go of certain people that didn't serve them, would have let go of career paths that didn't serve them. Anything in your life, there's an energy of transformation here, and fearless transformation. It's almost like no fear of death, almost. And it's intimidating. I feel like people could be intimidated by you, intimidated by how much you know your own value, how rock solid you are. Like, you are just so strong and wise. Like, you're also incredibly wise, and you have an energy about you where you see the truth of things. You're not afraid to take accountability for what your side of things are with this To Be Fair. And because of that, like, you aren't held back by self-deceit, and you just make the changes you need to make in order to grow as a person and in order to make your life better. And this is something that is hard for people to do. So the fact that you're hard to throw off balance too. There's such, you have an unbothered energy even when there's been a lot of chaos in your life or a lot of transformation going on. It's like you've always been able to maintain a higher wisdom of what's going on. And so you have this sort of objective energy when it comes to what needs to be done and what needs to be addressed. And you also are not resentful. Like, there's an energy here where certain people can be held back by like resentment and how they've been passed or how they've been treated in the past and how they've been hurt. And you have this energy where you don't hold on, you don't stay stagnant because you're blaming your problems on other people. You take so much accountability that it's like people just don't stand a chance that are wanting to project on you or wanting you to doubt yourself or wanting you to you have complete control over your life. And you also, right now, I feel like you have a stability to you and a trajectory towards success and recognition that is just undeniable. And I also feel like with this 11th house, 3 of Cups, you guys may be some kind of influencer, or you guys may lead people. You might be a leader in some sort of social cause, or you might help people. You might be like a tarot reader. There's just an energy here of the wind on your back and also being very involved in your purpose. You have such a strong purpose that people are envious of, that you have so much direction and certainty on your path. And I feel like you also have no regrets. Like, there's just an energy here of living life to your fullest and always looking to tomorrow. And I also was hearing the song, The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow. So the sun is here. And there's an energy of no matter what's going on around you, you have this composure and you have this connection with objective truth that just literally takes you through chaos. And you also are very perceptive, and because you've owned so much of your own shadow and your own self, and you've done so much self-work, you can recognize other people's BS like so quickly, and you don't even doubt yourself on it. And I also feel like you're quick to pivot if you sense this. And I feel like with the here and now, there's an energy where you've not let your obstacles in your life be an obstacle to what you're able to create. You haven't let your pain define you, and you have so much abundance ahead of you. I just want to tell you that in general, but people are very envious of your trajectory. They feel like they see you receiving a lot. They see that your inner beauty, your inner joy, your inner compassion for yourself and others just radiates from you in such an undeniable way. And I feel like you may be either already gaining influence just because of your natural amazing energy, or you may be stepping into a time period where you're really shining and you're really being acknowledged for your amazingness. And so there could be people around you who feel like they don't stand a chance or something. I feel like people compare themselves to you as well. I feel like there are certain people who maybe are not in a time period where they're feeling super abundant, and they may feel envious of the fact that, like, no matter, they may be, there's an energy here, people who like to indulge in self-pity just don't, like, it's so obvious to you that's the case. And there's also this energy where you don't wallow in self-pity. You don't stay stuck. You don't ruminate on purpose. You don't make decisions that are obvious. You try to find the solution. You let go of what you need to let go of, and you move on unscathed. And there are people who are still upset about something that happened 2 years ago and haven't been able to let that go. And so there's just this energy of, like, how is pile number 2 so resilient and so abundant despite everything they've been through? Like, how do they just feel so confident in themselves? And, you know, even though maybe people have not shown you your value back to you, you still have, you've either regained it or you've stayed very strong in the face of potential unfairness. It's like, you know your truth and that's all you need, and it's paying off. And so people are jealous of how much momentum you have for success and how much and what an impact you're able to have on other people. I feel like you're very inspiring to others, and I feel like you're just very in tune with what your gifts are, and I feel like you're sharing them and you're getting reimbursed for that with exchanging gifts. It's like you're in this energy where you know that what you give out is what you get. And so there's such an accountable energy here that's like, you know that what you deserve to receive. So if you don't receive that, then you let it go. You purge whatever that was. And you open up opportunities where people are going to value you, where people are going to be willing to give you your worth for what you put out. And so you've never become a victim. You've prevented yourself from being victimized by your circumstances and by making it someone else's problem or blaming your problems on someone else. It's like, you just don't do that. So there also could be people from your past that you've moved on from that are feeling frustrated that you're so unbothered. And not only are you unbothered, you've bloomed. You're this butterfly. And maybe some people saw you in a cocoon stage where they maybe thought you weren't doing very much with your life, or they maybe didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. But I feel like you've been in this beautiful cocoon of doing what you need to do to cleanse your own energy and project that out. It's like you've been purging any feelings of resentment, any feelings of guilt, of unworthiness, of jealousy. You've been purging all of these. And I also feel like you have this energy of flawlessly flowing with life and flowing with life's changes. And it's like there's an energy here where you go with the river. And it's like when you are able to go with the divine timing and divine flow of opportunities and also not freak out, like, and if you guys do freak out, I'm not trying to shame that. I'm just saying that you have this ability to hold faith that everything is happening the way it should be happening. You take the lessons as they come. You extract what you need to learn from them. You let go of what's false, what hasn't been true. You let go of limiting beliefs. And you know that the wheel of fortune is always turning. And so if there's been a hard time you've gone through, you've not let it break you. And now you're on the other side of the wheel of fortune. So this group, you have a lot of abundance coming in, and you're going to be so heavily rewarded for this perseverance and this transformation that you've gone through. And there could be people who don't feel like they have that same resilience or that same power, that feel less than compared to you, or they may even feel like there could be people who have had so much less challenges in their life and they're more held back emotionally than you are. There's this sense of emotional maturity and peace that you just radiate, and you are for the people, and it's so obvious that your intentions are so pure and not selfish, but it's like you look out for yourself as well. You are so tuned into we instead of I, and with this, the one who needs to control, you've released control. And that's what's given you so much power, is the fact that you don't feel like you have to control everything, that you don't feel like you have to worry so much about things shifting and changing. You just go with it. You go with the fire of transformation. You go with the flow, the ebb and flow of your circumstances, and you create wealth wherever you go. You have a green thumb. You are so prosperous and have so much potential, and wherever you plant yourself and put your energy into, it's just bound to grow. And it's like, you know that. And the more you've stepped into that, the more you're just going to continue to be paid off from it. But I feel like certain people feel, maybe even some people want to project onto you that you've been unfair or that you've been too harsh or selfish, but it's actually just not the case at all. Like, I just want to tell you that. But there could be some people projecting on you that you have been unforgiving, or that you, like, it's almost like people that like are like, oh, because pile number 2 walked away, that means that they like rejected me and they think they're better than me. But actually, you've just been so focused in your own lane. Like, you guys are just the definition of being in your own lane, working on your own purpose. And some people are just triggered by that because they maybe want you to feel more attached to them, or want you to feel more, I don't know, like needy or something. There's just this energy where it's like, you know, abundance is coming. So if something isn't fulfilling you, you're not afraid to let it go. You don't feel like you have to control things. You're aware of the fact that you don't need to convince someone to treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, you know? And I feel like there are a lot of people who are stuck trying to control things and have a lot of tendency to need to control, or have a lack of faith in the universe working out in their favor. But you just are so directed and so clear, and you don't let the haze of illusions distract you. Like, you cut to the root of anything, and there's just this fearlessness. This is a beautiful energy, and you have so much. You're going to be growing such a legacy, this group. I just want to say, so you will continue to have people who can't hang, is what I want to say. Like, and there also be people from your life that you maybe resonated with at one point in your journey, but it's like you're long gone from that state you were in. And people may be attached to an old version of you as well. And they may even feel like it's not real or something, or they may even think that you're like fronting, or that you're acting like you don't care, but deep down you have all these like negative thoughts. It's like, no, like, you're just so pure. And I feel like people wish you were more resentful. People wish you cared more. Like, people wish you had more regrets, you know, and that you were looking to the past more. You just move forward. You take what comes, and you don't worry too much about yesterday, and you don't worry too much about tomorrow. You're just focused on what you can do today. And that's carried you through, and it's just very admirable. But I could see how it would be triggering for people too. There's also such a sense of purpose. Like, I feel like you guys have such an ability to influence. So if you guys haven't found a community where you can share your ideas and share your energy, like, I really think it'd be appreciated. Like, I feel like the right people will, and you might already know this, but the right people will truly not be, people that aren't triggered by you won't be afraid to recognize you, you know? And so there could also be some people who are jealous of you, who don't want to give you the recognition you deserve, or like, they may not really want, you may be having certain successes, and they're just, I feel like there could be people that are like not really that excited to celebrate with you because they maybe were more comfortable when you were in a different energy, you know? And so I feel like there's some people who maybe just need to adjust to how much you're transforming. But I just think like there's just this energy where you're not mad, you know, you're not gonna try to control people. You're not gonna try to make anyone different than they are. And that's actually unconditional love, is when you're willing to love people from afar. And I feel like this group is willing to do what they have to do to move forward. And so people are jealous of your ability to grow. Like, you just keep growing, alchemizing, growing, you know, it's just, you have so much radiance to you, and you're just not hung up, you know. But let's get some tarot now and see. By the way, we are going to be doing an extended reading where we're looking at why do people crush on you? Like, what makes people romantically attracted to you? It's just like a fun reading. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll have it linked down below. All right, let's get into the tarot now. So can we clarify anything else that we're missing, or whatever else? Why are people envious of pile number 2? We have the Lovers. And that's what I'm talking about, is like, you have such a compassionate, strong energy to you, where everything you do comes from a place of love. And some people just are living in fear. Some people misunderstand this energy that you're going to do what's most loving for you, you know? So there could be people around you who aren't at that level, aren't at that place where they can afford to act in a loving way. You know, there's people in a scarcity mindset and you're just not in the scarcity mindset. You're in flow of love and you're so considerate of other people too. Like you're so balanced. But more Gemini energy as well. Why are people envious of pile number 2? Yeah, we have the Son of Wands. We have the Star, literally the Star. You guys have such a star energy. I feel like you guys are gonna be influential. You guys are gonna be recognized. You have such a hopeful energy, a unique, hopeful, positive trajectory, and you are just taking action towards fulfilling it. You're not afraid to take action. You're not afraid to act when it's time. You're not afraid to follow your passions. You have hope for yourself. And the Star is all about renewal. And so I don't know, some of you guys maybe have gone through tower moments with Death the Deceitful and the Panther, but you've come to the other side. And I'm hearing, I deserve congratulations. Super Bloom. You guys are literally that song. Super Bloom. Because I came out the other side. Yeah, you do deserve congratulations, pile number 2. I want to congratulate you for your energy and your journey. And I want to say this collective is so lucky to have you. And I can't wait for you to continue to share your gifts because you have so much to share and so much inspiration. You're going to be seen. And either you are seen, and that's also why people are envious, is that there's an unstoppable action, fiery, passionate, divine energy that there's no stopping you, you know? Yeah. All right, what else? Why are people envious of pile number 2? And I feel like these readings are helpful just to remind you that sometimes when you shine brightly, like other people are gonna, you're influential, like you're gonna be polarizing. People are either gonna be inspired by you or they're gonna be triggered by you. And so I feel like Spirit just wants you to know that like your energy is so impactful, and never internalize that. And I feel like you already know that, but I just want to remind you. So, all right. Why are people envious? Okay, we have the 7 of Cups. We have the 2 of Cups in the reverse position. Okay, we have the 7 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, and the Son of Cups. Yeah. And then the Sun, literally, of course, the Sun is at the back. You guys are like the Sun. You have so much positive energy about you, and you're just gonna attract to you abundance. If you're able to maintain this energy, it's just undoubtedly gonna lead you to success. So we have the 6 of Wands here, which is all about recognition. So people are jealous of the recognition you're getting. People are jealous of the way you're perceived. I feel like you're perceived very positively by people who aren't trying to tear you down. The 7 of Wands, you're so self-assured in your values. You don't let anyone knock you off your pedestal. And you, even in the midst of all this power, you are still so loving, and you truly move from the heart. And that's just like the full package, you know, like you guys are caring and lovely, and you move towards what makes your heart happy. And the fact that you are moving with your heart and you're being successful in that, you're getting recognized for that, it's just, it feels unfair to people. People feel like it's almost like you have, the universe is on your side, but it is because of all the work you've done and all of you deserve it. You get what you reap, what you sow, and you just are a positive example of that. And so there could be some people who have a tendency to think that other people's lives are more easy, or they even feel like it's like people's success or their energy is something that was given to them. But that's just like not the case whatsoever with you. So there could be some people who feel like you've had a better experience, or like that you're lucky, or that it isn't due to your decisions and your courage. It's all due to you. You know, it's all attributed to you. But some people may be just so unable to see where they're causing their own unhappiness, or people don't want to acknowledge how much it is in their control to choose their energy, to choose their reaction to things. It's like certain people, when they see other successful people, they aren't able to recognize that person deserved it. You know what I mean? And so there's kind of an energy like that too. And so I'm also seeing with the Seven of Cups and the Lovers, people are envious of how many options you have in love. That's another thing coming through. People are envious of your ability to see your options. It's like you don't settle for the first thing, you know, that comes your way, because you know you got options, you know? And so people are envious how you live your life in a way that's just so opportune. Like you just know there's opportunities for you, and that you can always afford to choose love. You can always afford to choose abundance. And so another thing I'm getting with this Two of Cups in reverse is that I feel like you don't allow your need for relationships to override your values. It's like you don't sacrifice what's important to you for people who don't get you, you know? And I feel like you're not afraid to take action away from relationships that don't serve you. And I think that's something that is admirable, but also could be triggering for people, because it maybe makes them feel like they're not enough for you. And it's like, they don't recognize that if they just treated you with your worth, then you would be on the same page. But people need to get used to the fact that if they're going to come to you in an energy that isn't honoring you, that isn't on your level, you're going to be cast out, you know, and as you should push those people out of your life. But I think it causes insecurities in people. And especially people who feel like they don't have many options or opportunities, or like the universe isn't on their side. They feel in this scarcity mindset, and you're just such in an opposite energy of like scarcity mindset. So that's what I'm seeing. Let's get you some guidance before we go into the extended. Let's see what Spirit would like to tell you. What guidance do you have for pile number 2 in dealing with this kind of energy? What do you want them to know about it? We have time for beginner mind. That came out in pile number 1. This is like a similar energy to pile number 1, but almost a future energy of pile number 1. We have co-create with spirit. Let it shine, peacock again, in time for collaboration. And then lay a solid foundation. So I feel like what Spirit is saying is continue to do what you're doing. You're on the right track, and continue to be open to new learning and new paths, and continue to learn more ways that you can keep expanding your energy, you know? Like you don't need to, or I feel like Spirit's saying this is just the beginning of it. Like there's still so much more growth to come. So you have not peaked yet, is what Spirit is saying. And so with co-create with Spirit, Spirit's reminding you of how much manifestation power you have, and what a beautiful partnership you have with Spirit. And I feel like Spirit's also telling you just how great you are. You literally had the peacock come out twice, and they're just telling you to like never hold back, never feel ashamed of your confidence. Keep shining out. You'll find, and also Spirit's telling you that never dim your light because people are triggered. And also if you continue to shine your light out, you're going to be attracting positive support. And even if there are people who have been triggered by your positive energy and maybe have been wanting to compete with you or sabotage you, still know that there are people out here that would love to collaborate with you, and you will find like-minded people. And if you ever feel alone, just trust that you are on the path of attracting more like-minded souls in your life who are going to contribute to your success. And to never be ashamed, never let anyone else's reaction to your self-love, your self-worth, to cause you to feel like you can't celebrate yourself, or to make you feel like you need to dim down your greatness. And I don't think you're doing that, but I just think Spirit's telling you, even if there are people who aren't good collaborative people, like there are other people that you're drawing in. And I'm seeing this heart like beaming out, and I feel like it's attracting these people who want to help you. And yeah, with the 11th house friends, I feel like you have new friends and soulmate friendship connections, or even lovers that are really going to love what they see about you. They're going to be inspired by it. They're going to want to work with you side by side and be on your journey. And there's people who see your value and are not triggered by it, you know? And so just always remember that this isn't all for nothing, and soon you will be surrounded by the support you deserve, and keep going on that path is what I'm seeing. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number 2. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have an extra second and you found value, if you're able to hit the like button, that's really supportive to the channel. If you are comfortable sharing like what you thought about the reading, I love to read your guys' comments. And also I'm going to take it over the extended, where again, we're going to be looking at why do people crush on you and what makes people romantically drawn to you, if that's something you're curious about. But other than that, this is what I have. If you guys want to see more guidance, love, maybe fun readings like this, I would love for you to subscribe and join the community so you can see future readings from the channel. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are amazing. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the Astromatrix Tarot with this black obsidian palm stone, this is going to be your reading, where we're looking at what makes people envious of you. And we'll finish off the reading with some advice on how you can deal with these energies, or what Spirit wants you to remember when dealing with this sort of evil eye energy. So we'll also, for the extended reading, be looking at what makes people romantically attracted to you, like why do people crush on you. So that's just kind of a fun reading. If you're interested, I'll have it linked down below if you feel like this definitely is your energy. But let's get into it. So I pulled some oracle cards. I'm going to put the tarot to the side for right now. We'll use this to clarify the oracles. So for this group, we have the wolf. Oh, I'm hearing I'm hungry like the wolf. We have the moth and the earthworm. We have clean it up. Breathe, financial constraints, the thinking man. By the way, this pile is coming through with a very strongly masculine energy. That does not have to mean that you are gendered as a man. A song that was coming through for this pile was this song. It's called Icy by Swati, I think. And it's like, the song says, never messy, always clean, never ever. Ask how a hot girl do it. Like, and it also says, like, my finances are always good and stuff. So there's a really strong confident energy here that's very self-assured. So you could be a girl that's like more independent, or like a female. I guess gender doesn't really matter, but the energy is divine masculine. So for some of you that definitely identify as being a divine feminine, this may be your person's energy, and it's up to you whether or not you want to listen. But for others of you, this may just be your energy. So we also have no one is yours but you. We have no bull. So Taurus energy is coming through. We have ripe fruits. And also for this group, a lot of earth energy is coming through. So Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, like, for sure. This doesn't mean you have to have that in your chart, but that's just the energy I'm picking up on, along with air energy. So we have Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So those are the strongest energies coming through. We have Temperance, Grand Trine Blessings. We have Ace of Swords, air element communication, so that's more air energy. We have the Vengeance card. We have the Pilgrim, opportunities and growth. We have the Catalyst, taking radical changes, taking control. We have the Sentinel, determination and certainty. Here, let me find a place. We also have the King, control, reversal of fortune. And then we have control coming up multiple times. So I have a lot to say about this, but I'm just going to lay the cards down, then we'll get into it. So we have control, which is Jupiter and Capricorn, so more Capricorn energy. We have lust, which is Mercury in Aries, and then we also have Sun in Aries. So I guess we do have Aries energy here as well. So yeah, that could just be a confirmation for you, but we have 2 1s here. So there's strong ambitious energy coming through. So I feel like people who are envious of you feel intimidated by you and also feel like they wish they had the same level of confidence, leadership, control, self-assertion, a level of importance and status is being indicated here. So certain people who haven't been able to achieve as much, I feel like are very envious towards you. And people are also very envious of your position. They're very envious of where you've gotten yourself in life. They're envious of your work demeanor, your attitude, and also like your persona. Like your persona just comes through as someone who is a leader, like is the person calling the shots. And it's for good reason. It's because you've demonstrated a strong determination, a strong willpower, work ethic, a sense of stability. You're very good at guiding and leading other people. You're very good at communicating and making decisions. And you have a lot to show for that. You have created a lot of blessings in your life. There's also the song that came through was Under Pressure. So I feel like this group is able to handle a lot of pressure with a lot of grace and almost stoicism and control. Like I feel like people may want to see you sweat, but you never do. You never show like weakness externally. So certain people who are less directed in their life or feel like they can't really stand on their own 2 feet, people who are less confident feel very envious and intimidated by you. And I feel like people want to be respected in the same way that you're respected. People want to speak and have people listen to them. Like there's an energy about you where your word carries a lot of weight and people really listen to you, as they should, because you have so much wisdom and you just have a confidence energy that I feel like it brings stability to any situation. The Wolf card is also like the leader of the pack. It's the energy of community and doing things to keep the pack together. And you also have really high standards for yourself and other people. And so certain people that don't feel like they measure up to you can feel inferior. You make people feel inferior to you. And you are so in control of yourself and you're so self-responsible that other people who don't have that feel almost like unimportant compared to you, or they may even feel like they don't matter or something. It's almost this energy where you're just in your own lane and you don't let your guard down. Like you just have this strong guard about you where I feel like you really are selective with your attention as well. Like I feel like you are someone who's willing to like guide and help people, but I feel like at the same time you just have this like regal kind of leadership energy. And so with this earthworm energy, this card literally talks about being like a beginner or being someone who is new to an environment, and there's people with a lot more experience around you, a lot more confidence, and it tends to be really intimidating. And so I feel like that's an energy here, is people feel like they wish that they could have the same regality to them or the same impact on other people. Like I feel like if you walk into a room, people could look to you for what you're gonna say. Like you just have this energy where it's like, I'm even thinking of there's an alpha energy here. People are envious of the fact that you're the alpha. And you also, people are envious of the fact that like you don't let anyone step on you. Like if someone is trying to trifle with you, like you don't let that go unseen. Like you really stand your ground and you don't let anyone disrespect you. So you just you just have this very, you respect yourself a lot and other people respond to that. And so people are envious of how respected you are and how in control you are. That's just really what I'm getting. There's this control energy. So I feel like people who aren't as happy with their life and don't have as much ambition or don't have as much like determination, and then they don't have a lot to show for it, feel like they can't compete with you. So I feel like people like want to compete with you, but it's like they know they can't. And so another song that came through was Joji, Slow Dancing in the Dark, and it's like the song, or like the person says, you should be with him, I can't compete. So it's like, you know, people feel like they can compete with you. Like your standards are high and you just perform at such a high caliber so consistently. And you just have so much to show for it. And not everyone has that. And there could be a lot of people who wish for your downfall with this reverse of fortune. Yeah, so I think people just want to see you sweat or want to see you struggle, but they don't ever see that. And with this ripe fruit here and this air element communication, I'm getting a lot of magician energy where you have such a strong ability to communicate and convey your ideas. And also, it's almost like what you speak becomes reality. It's like you have this way of creating abundance and creating stability and growth wherever you go. And you just don't tolerate any BS. You know, if anyone wants to BS you, like, you're not even gonna be bothered. You're not even gonna look twice. If anything, like, your energy speaks for itself. But if people do try to mess with you, it's just like, they just look stupid, you know? And so there's just this energy of confidence and even like a strong ego with all these ones. Like, I feel like people feel like you can get anything you want and you'll get the best of the best. Like, there's just this high standard about you that just feels like you never lose your sense of self-certainty. You're just so certain, and it doesn't really matter what other people think. And I think with lust here, I think a lot of people are drawn to you, and I think a lot of people find you attractive. Even if you don't think you're conventionally attractive, your energy really draws people in. You're a powerhouse. Like, you're just a very strong person, and you have such a directed energy. Also with this shark card here, I feel like people are almost afraid of like getting in your way. Like, you're really intimidating. And even if you don't like, even if that doesn't make sense to you, I feel like this is a group where people would literally think that you don't like them, but it's actually just their own insecurity. So insecure people could get triggered by you just because you don't feel the need to like people please or validate. So if someone's insecure, it's just kind of like, I don't know, like, you would help people though. You are someone who's generous. Like, you are generous with your energy and you will help people. But if people are not being humble and not respecting you, like, you're not even gonna bother with them, or you're gonna put them in their place. Like, you would put people in their place like really quick. And you have so much independent energy, yet you're also you have a energy that is like you're like a pillar of whatever community or group you're a part of. You just hold a lot of weight and you hold a lot of control, and people look to you for making decisions. People look to you to get advice, and then they follow it. Like, people just really respect what you have to say, and people want to learn from you too. And so, yeah, there's a lot of people who feel like, maybe they even feel like if there's like love interests around you, they feel like you're a huge threat. And I'm almost getting this energy too, because I've been watching like reality TV shows a lot recently, and just like dating shows. Like, I feel like you'd be the person that walks in and every guy would be like, no, like, this new person's here and they're just like gonna steal everyone from us. Like, people truly feel like you can have anyone you want. And with this breathe card, you just have this composure to you. And even if sometimes you feel like, I feel like maybe sometimes this group could get, if anything, maybe just overwhelmed sometimes because you have so much responsibility, but you carry it better than anyone. Like, you carry it really well, and you just attract a lot of blessings to your life, and it's just really due to the energy you put into whatever you do, essentially. So I'm gonna get a sip of water and then we'll get into tarot. And I feel like, I don't know, like, I'm just imagining like a big dog versus like a little dog that's like yapping. and you're the big dog. Like you're the big dog in whatever room, whatever society you're in, you have the energy of the big dog, and then like the smaller dogs are the jealous ones that are like, I don't know, like feeling like intimidated by it. And so they might bark a lot, but it's just this energy of like, they could bark at you and then you could just like take one step towards them and then they run, you know? Like it's just a very intimidating, powerful energy. Like I feel like people would not want to go head to head with you. They would not want to get on your bad side. I feel like a lot of people want to impress you too. Like I feel like you're the kind of person where it's like people want your approval. You may attract a lot of people that like want what you have, or just like feel like if they oh no, we're good. Sorry, I thought I just went with reversals with the deck, but I didn't. But anyways, let's get into it. So what else, Spirit, with tarot? Can you clarify anything that people are envious about when it comes to pile number 3? Okay, that's too much. That's too much. Could I just get one, please? Why are people envious of pile number 3? We have the Queen of Pentacles. And I'm hearing my expenses are always neat, or my expenses are always in check. Like, I feel like you guys may be very wealthy. We have the Fool. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Star. We have the Page of Cups, and then we also have the King of Swords, and then the Ten of Cups. Yeah, and I feel like there's an energy here where I feel like you make people feel like a fool. Like people, it's almost like because you have so much self-certainty, you make other people feel truly like inexperienced or foolish, you know, in regards to your energy. I feel like with the King of Swords here, this really rings true. So that's more air energy. And it's just like you're so confident in whatever you do. And I feel like you think things over. Like you're very logical and you don't really let your emotions rule you. So I feel like especially people who are maybe more like in their feminine energy could feel very intimidated by you. And with the King of Swords, it's just like you say it how it is, and you know 100% you make decisions from a very logical place. You're someone who doesn't suffer fools lightly. Like that's like the King of Swords energy coming through. It's like you have no time for tomfoolery. Like, and maybe behind the scenes you are more playful, but I feel like whenever you're in a group setting, like you just really come across as very calm, cool, and collected. People are jealous that they feel like you have potential to have everything with this Ten of Cups here. Nine of Pentacles, yeah. You are this Nine of Pentacles as well. So independent, self-made, like so ambitious, or maybe not even self-made, but you may just have a prestigious energy to you. People are also envious of how intelligent you are. You may have a lot of education. But I just feel like you might have a lot of like Knight of Wands types of energies that are envious of you, that are maybe still building up their sense of success in their life or building up their status. Like you just really make people look, if anything, like foolish and impulsive, and people just look to you more so than other people. And you're just calm, cool, and collected. You're also able to be detached from your emotions, which makes you even more intimidating and sometimes maybe unapproachable. People also may be jealous about who you give your energy to. Like I feel like you're in high demand. Like I feel like everyone wants to be in your spotlight or focused on you. With the Star here, I feel like you become people's like wish fulfillment. So I feel like people are envious of whoever you give attention to. You may even have like a lot of female or like more feminine energies feeling jealous of anyone that you are talking to, you know? Like there's just an energy here where there's maybe a lot of competition that goes on for you, and people just want to be your confidant. Like everyone wants to be your right-hand man or your girl or something, or like, I don't know, there's just an energy of people really wanting to align with you, wanting to get guidance from you, wanting to learn how you are the way you are. It's like they want some of you to rub off on them. Yeah, and I feel like people want to be your significant other. I feel like people want to marry you. I feel like people are very envious of whoever you end up with, is what I'm getting. People want to be the one you commit to. But I even feel like this group maybe even be a less committal energy, because I don't see you guys getting carried away with your emotions. Like, I feel like you would make logical decisions in regard to like who you want to partner up with. And I feel like people just really want to get your attention. So you may even have like a lot of people like, I don't know, like trying to walk by you or just wanting to kind of be loud around you. I'm kind of seeing like an energy of people just trying to get your attention and just wanting to be the thing that you are interested in. I do want to clarify the star here. Why is the star in this? I think it's because you are in the spotlight in some way. I feel like a lot of people look up to you to guide them. But let's get some more. Why is the star here? We have the 5 of Wands. Yeah, you're the people have a lot of focus on you. You're in the spotlight in some direction. So with the 5 of Wands, there's a lot of competition for you. You're everyone's wish, is how I'm feeling. Yeah, people are envious that everyone wants to compete for your attention. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here? We have the 4 of Swords. I feel like people want to... I'm just getting this energy where people want to be the one to nourish you. Like, you just attract a lot of feminine energy that wants to bring out your more emotional side. So I feel like people are just envious of whoever you're around when you aren't working, is what I'm seeing. People are just very interested in what's, like, how you spend your time when they aren't seeing you. Like, people just want to, I don't know, like, it's giving me the energy of, like, the father of the household and, like, the wanting to be, or even, like, a king. I'm getting just, like, a king energy from you guys, where it's, like, people want to, like, massage your feet. People want to, like, be the one to nourish you and give you a break. It's, like, people may even want to, like, cook for you or something. I feel like you also may get a lot of people that want to move towards you. I think people think you're very attractive as well. Why is the Knight of Wands here? We have the 8 of Wands. Yeah, so people feel like people want to like rush towards you. It's hard to describe it. It's like people feel like you make people are just really attracted to you. Like, you bring out this passionate energy in others where they just really want to rush towards you, and you attract so much to your life. Also with the 8 of Wands, I feel like you may, I feel like there's this energy of your ability to communicate, and like, I just feel like you manifest things really quickly, and you just have so much going for you. I feel like you have so much momentum behind you, and it's like you're like a magnet. You draw people in, and I think people can be envious of that. Why is the Fool here? Six of Swords. I feel like there are people who are maybe more novice around you, or people that are a little bit more emotional, or like people that move with their heart more or feel more relationship oriented, that may feel like, especially if there's masculine people that are more in their water energy, they may feel like you are like there's an Emperor energy here too, which I'm surprised to not even see the Emperor, but I feel like people that are more emotional, especially if they're gendered as a male, may feel very, I'm hearing like emasculated, or even like they don't compare, or they just feel like, I don't know, people who aren't doing well in their life or have a lot of baggage, I feel like they just feel like they don't compare to you. There's a lot of comparison energy, especially with this 5 of Wands. It's like they don't even want to compete with you. Like, people feel like they would lose in a competition, essentially. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. This was kind of off the whole time, but I guess it's okay. People want what you have. People want your persona, to be their own. And I just think some people like don't get how you do it. Like there's just kind of this energy of like, how do they attract so much abundance to their life, and how are they so confident? Like there's just questions like that. And it's like, you don't let your emotions hold you back. Maybe there's certain people who have like a lot of emotional baggage that feel envious of how you're unaffected, or how you don't seem to let your emotions rule you, or make you make decisions that you regret. Like you're just very calculated in what you do, and it just always pays off. I feel like whatever decisions you make are well thought out as well. So when there's people who have more impulsive energy around you, they may just feel like it's more noticeable. The reason, because with that moth energy, the moth energy is an energy where people always feel like the grass is greener on the other side, and so then they don't stick to their projects long enough. So I feel like people who are just very like drawn to the flame, like a moth, people are envious of your stability and the fact that you're very rooted. So other people that are more impulsive and have maybe taken on a lot of projects and given up on them, so they haven't built up a lot of like leadership in a certain situation. And maybe certain people are like the same age as you, but because they didn't dedicate themselves to like a certain path, then they're kind of in this beginner position. So I feel like there could even be people that are around your age that just don't feel like they've accomplished as much as you, and it's because they let their emotions carry them. They let their passions take them. Instead, you have this like long-term gratification energy that has paid out for you in the long run too. So hello, pile number 3. I'm just coming in after I've already finished filming your pile, because I realized I forgot to give you guidance for what Spirit wants you to know about this like sort of jealous energy towards you. What Spirit wants to remind you of, what message they have about it. So I'm going to insert this in. So for pile number 3, to finish off their reading, what do you want them to keep in mind when it comes to this energy of people feeling envious of them? What is their guidance? We have be playful. We have Spirit has your back. We have learn from the past. And we have think on your feet. So, and then claim your independence at the back of the deck. So I feel like what Spirit's saying is reminding you that you don't let this energy cause you to be overly defensive or overly isolated. Like, I feel like because you have so much going for you and you may have a lot of wealth, it may get in the way sometimes of how open you are then to connections, because I feel like you're afraid of being exploited or taken advantage of. So I feel like Spirit's reminding you to make sure you're making time for play in your life and that you don't take life too seriously. Spirit's also saying like the universe has your back. Like, don't take this too seriously. Don't take these people seriously. Don't let them make you always be on edge or always be on the defensive position, because there are certain people that are going to come into your life that are going to match your energy. And so it's important to not push those people away because of that. With learn from your past, I feel like Spirit is telling you that you have a lot of wisdom that you can extract from all of your experiences in life, especially dealing with different people. So I feel like it's important to make sure that you're drawing wisdom from that and making sure that you're being wise in your interactions with other people. Just trust that you are protected, and trust that you'll always know what to do whenever something like this kind of fronts with you, or if there's ever an energy where, you may start getting paranoid or something because there's a lot of people that are like have their eyes on you. I feel like Spirit's just saying you'll know what to do when the moment comes. You're very clever. You're very smart. So don't over strategize or get super sneaky. Like, you don't have to become overly sneaky is kind of what I'm getting. So I'm going to read you the protection message for this. Spirit's reminding you that you always have your independence, that no one can take that from you. That's something that people can want to take from you, but they can't. It's like that's something, you're protected. You have everything you need. There's no need to feel threatened is kind of what I'm getting. So So for the protection message for the Fox Spirit, it says, are you camouflaging yourself to avoid intimacy? Perhaps you're being too clever for your own good and playing games to protect yourself. Being dishonest with yourself or others can become isolating and create obstacles to true connection. Fox Spirit calls you to be attuned to what's happening within you and around you so that your quick thinking and creativity can lead you to better relationships and situations. You're called to use your Fox Spirit beneficially rather in ways that keeps you from experiencing what you want. And that's really what I'm getting for you. It says the answers and solutions will come to you quickly and you can trust them. Don't overthink a situation in order to avoid the challenge of facing the truth. The Fox Spirit's creative nature will always be there to guide you and help you move into better circumstances. So I feel like Spirit's saying don't overthink this energy. Don't let yourself become paranoid so then you're blocking off other connections is what I'm hearing. Because not everyone is someone that's trying to overthrow you, you know. So yeah, that's what I see for you guys. I'm going to cut now to the outro. That's what I'm seeing for you guys. I'm now going to go into the extended where we're going to be looking at what makes you romantically attractive or why do people have a crush on you. So if you are interested in seeing that, I'll have it linked down below underneath the timestamps to Vimeo. But that's what I have for the YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you do have an extra second and you found value, it helps out the video if you're able to hit the like button, or if you want to share any of your feedback on the reading, I do really appreciate it. And I love to read the comments. And if you guys want to see more pick a card readings from this channel, I would love for you to join the community and subscribe so you can see more readings from this channel. And that's what I have for you. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to connect with you again soon.